on this computer. So there we go. So it should be recording now for everybody else that wasn't able to join us. So my name's Jesslyn. I am going to be the editor-in-chief of the Healthy Girl magazine. And I'll just give you guys a little bit of background about me and where I came from and kind of why Leanne chose for me to do this. I joined up with the Healthy Girl team a few months ago. My husband and I are, as I just had mentioned to you, Jen, we're traveling the world with our children for the next year, and we are currently in New Zealand. So like I say, we're Saturday morning here in New Zealand. You guys are Friday afternoon. So it's been quite the adventure. While we're doing this, we've been trying to build our own personal coaching business and use obviously the USANA products and Healthy Girl to help not only build our business, but to create that residual income that we're all looking for. So I met Leanne through Healthy Girl once I was invited. And one of the things that I had been associated with before I had met Leanne is a group called Cluster, which is an online e-magazine. And Steve Thode, the owner and founder of Cluster, is actually joining us right now so that he can maybe explain it a little bit better, as well as answer any questions that anyone might have. So if anybody hops on this call, you can ask Steve any questions here. But Steve was kind enough to send me a video to be able to show. Now, Steve, do you want me to show the video, or do you want to explain, or what would you kind of give the background?
Yeah, I mean, if you show the video, I guess that's something we can do later. So maybe I can kind of give stuff that's not necessarily in the video.
Okay. So let me.
Or do you want to show the video? It's fine with me.
It's up to you. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and just kind of,
all
you're
right.
better at explaining it all, but then compared to me.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'll do my best. Ultimately, I was really lucky to start developing some websites, and I hired some programmers to build me some websites, and Google never found any of these websites. So while I was getting explained why they couldn't be done, I decided to build my own websites. And within around, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, I was lucky enough to be the #1 search result for the search term Canadian Tire Flyer. And that search term, believe it or not, is searched around 40,000 times a month in Canada. And over the years, I was lucky enough to reach roughly 35 million people online. And as much as I was lucky doing that, I realized it's really, really, really difficult to do it alone. So as successful as I was, the internet wasn't conducive to me just continually pounding out content to get search traffic. So along came social media, and one day along came Groupon. Two things that I was very intrigued by ultimately. One of the things, I'm not a huge fan of Groupon, to be truthful, and the reason being is because it takes advantage of the local business owner. But I am a big fan of social media, and I always wondered why local business owners wouldn't distribute their promotions as a group. So one day I got together a group of local business owners, and we distributed a bunch of promotions using our collective social media, and we were able to reach roughly 5,000 people. And that was the aha moment in terms of how I got to where I was. And we built an entire application around any group being able to create content online, publish it in their own magazine, publish it in their own blog, but in addition to publishing in their own blog or their own magazine, also be able to publish it to group magazines. And of course, what I'm most proud of is when a group of businesses get together and they all pull the rope together, they can reach, literally hundreds of thousands of people together. So Cluster is something I'm really proud of, and we have been effectively operating for about 6 months to a year now, and we've driven over 1 million leads of content to our groups. So what Jesslyn is thinking is that your group is extremely strong and has the ability to work together. And I think also Leanne, and really blast open this Healthy Girl and the Asana brand and your own brands, which you are all ultimately, passionate about. How's that, Jesslyn?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's pretty much exactly kind of what your video showed, but I'll show the video again after, and that kind of also shows, visuals, because I know sometimes people need visuals, right? And I like your little visual chart. So I will show the video maybe at the end, just to kind of again, give people the idea of what it is, and for people that might be joining us a little late. I've already had a couple people going, "Who's talking right now? Why is there a man talking in our Healthy Girl group?" So I was just explaining to them that you are the founder of Cluster, and you were just giving a nice explanation. So yeah, what Steve said is that I've been lucky enough to be part of a couple of magazines up until this point, and we've found that it's really driven a lot of traffic to our website, and really brought awareness to not only my own brand, but because I'm originally from Cambridge, Ontario, it's bringing a lot of awareness to the local businesses that I was associated with there. So, and it's kind of fun to work together. You get to know about other people, other businesses, and all of that. So it's a great way to network online as well. So I know with Healthy Girl, some coaches you guys are all close and you know each other because you've met each other at certain events. Some of us are new coming into it. So it's nice to give us that opportunity to be able to meet and learn about other people's businesses as well. Because I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm one that I know I can't help everybody with who I am and what I do, but I like to know people that I can refer people to, and always kind of have, the contact list in the background to be able to help anybody else that comes to me and asks questions. Because if I can't help them, I want to be able to know somebody that can. So it's a great way to network that way as well. Along with, as Steve said, we're not only building this Healthy Girl brand, that Leanne has so wonderfully put together for us, but we're able to build our individual brands, and then be able to put them all together and work together to be able to do this. So basically, I'll just give you a quick screen share of what it looks like, because again, I'm a visual person and it's nice to kind of see the visuals. So let me just share my screen here and give you an idea of, sorry about that, wrong button there. So this is, let's do a full screen here. And I will go into my feed. So, and Steve, let me know if there's anywhere that I should be going that you think would be better to show. But basically, this is kind of what the new look of the magazine. It's actually just been revamped in the last few weeks. So it's looking quite nice and clean, very pretty. And this basically shows what magazines that I'm following. So you can see here, Thrive Collaborative is not only a magazine I'm following, it's a magazine that I contribute to. And it shows a couple articles. So this is another one here, Natural Handcrafted Skincare, Healthy Choices. And then, of course, my magazine down here. So if I click in to Balance Bloom, which I'm already following, then you can see all the articles that I have actually written. And again, you get to put pictures, you get to show all sorts of different content. But the wonderful thing about this, and I'm not sure, I know Steve kind of touched on it there, is that this magazine is different in the fact that it just doesn't focus on writing blogs and sharing articles. All of the
Oh, we have excitement in here.
Oh my goodness. Somebody's excited about my page. Thank you. So the great thing is that this one is all run in the back end, which is stuff that we don't even have to really worry about except when we're writing our articles, but it's the SEO, it's that search engine optimization, which is huge when it comes to really trying to boost up where you are in Google and all of those searches, and really get your pages, your blogs, your websites all really seen faster than any other magazine would be able to do. And Steve's put that together with his team and made it really amazing. So when you go in and you're actually writing your articles, it teaches you how to write articles really well, to make sure that your search engine optimization, the words that you're using, the tags, are all really big up by Google. So using things like pictures, headings, bullet points, links. So this is an article that I wrote. So these are hyperlinks here that go to other things. And you can just kind of put your tags in with it. So it makes it really easy. So that's just kind of, I don't want to go into too much detail, obviously. I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but I just wanted to kind of show you what it looked like, so that you could get a better idea of how nice it actually is and how it kind of looks like a lot of some of the other online magazines that you may be following already.
Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
So that's a really big point in terms of what's called SEO, search engine optimization. One of the reasons Google likes any piece of content is, yes, it's structured well, as Jessalyn talked about, but also that it's validated. So, you know, by having all of you working together to validate each other's content, it increases your strength in the eyes of Google. And so if somebody writes an article about yoga and all of you are ultimately sharing that article becomes definitely validated in the eyes of Google. So yeah, that was it. Sorry, Jessalyn.
No, that's great. That's why I wanted you on this, so that you could kind of, again, reiterate some points and explain it a little bit better. So that's what the magazine looks like. And really, you know, I know we're all very busy people. Not only are we, a lot of us, entrepreneurs, we're mothers, we're wives, we have so many titles, so many jobs going on. We don't want to add too much to your plates already. And that's what makes this really beautiful and simple, is that Leanne actually already told me that a lot of the healthy girls are already doing things like blogging. And those of you that aren't, that's okay too. It doesn't take much, but I know some of people aspire to do some blogging, or you're looking for ways to improve your business or get more awareness for your business. And so the two things that you really only have to focus on when it comes to this is creating content and sharing. Those are the two main aspects of this magazine. So you create your content, which, as I say, you write your blogs, and you can even use blogs that you've already put onto your own websites or that you've already shared. That's the wonderful thing about this magazine in comparison to some others. You own your content. So it's not like everything you put in here can only be in this magazine and you can't use it on your website. I've known a few places where they say, as soon as you submit that article, it's ours, and you can't use it on your own website. That's not the case here. You're able to use it in both places and get it out there. So you create your content, and what we ask for, especially of the founding members that are going to be starting out the magazine, are going to be, we ask for 1 to 2 articles per month. So however long it takes you to write 1 or 2 articles, you may even have a backlog of 6 months worth of articles that you would already like to be able to do there. Then you can definitely go ahead and start just putting that content out there while you're creating new stuff. And then the sharing part of it. So basically what you have to do is each week we ask you to go in and share your articles along with everybody else's articles. Again, and that's the whole power of the clustering, is working together to share, to like other people's articles and put them out there on the social media platforms. And the 4 social medias that we use are Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter. So you can have more than that for your own. Obviously down here you can see I'm also on Instagram as well. So you can have other platforms that you are going to put on your profile, but those are the 4 main ones that we actually ask you to share them on. So really it takes, no time during the week. You go in maybe 2-3 times a week. You click on a few articles that you like, you want to read through. You like them by clicking on this little heart here. If you click on this, clicking on and off makes you like it or unlike it. And you share it up here in the corner. You can see the Facebook and all of that. You click here, and it automatically links up with your Facebook account, your Twitter account, and throws the feed out there for you. So doing that a couple of times a week, it's going to maybe take you, 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how many articles you want to read and share. But those are the two main components that we ask that anybody that's going to join the magazine is going to do. That's part of a contract that we will sign, that we will get you to sign, just to make sure that everybody's doing it equally. We don't want people coming on here and just putting their own articles and not sharing. That's not the point of what Cluster is here to do. So, and what Healthy Girl is doing. And of course, we're also representing Healthy Girl. So we really have to make sure that we're following the Healthy Girl brand guidelines, which Leanne is going to make sure that everybody's aware of, so that we're all on the same page, while still allowing you to be your own unique business and brand as well. So it's going to be a nice relationship between your business as well as Healthy Girl.
Can you talk about briefly, when you're part of a cluster, when a new article gets uploaded to the cluster, everybody will be made aware of that, and you can actually share it in an email?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yep. So that is something that we get. So I guess it's on Mondays and Thursdays, Steve.
Yes.
We each get, like, I get an email every Monday and Thursday from any magazine that I'm a part of. So right now, I think I'm currently a part of 3. So if you guys are just a part of the Healthy Girl, you get one email on Mondays and one email on Wednesdays or on Thursdays. And that basically reminds you. So if you're, again, busy schedules, sometimes people forget, it reminds you who's put out new content. So you can click right from your email, right from your phone, click on it, read the article, share it, done. Right. So it's really simple, and they make it really easy for you to be able to share and not forget to do it. And like I say, 5 minutes out of your day to be able to do that. So you'll get those emails from Cluster itself. Those are automatic. They come out from there, versus what we'll probably do is with our Healthy Girl magazine is also do a monthly email blast, just to remind you guys of how to do it. We might give you tips on how to write better articles. So we don't want to bombard your email inbox, obviously, because we know, again, you're busy and you're probably getting a ton of emails, but it's nice to have those reminders. And obviously my husband and I are running my company Balance Bloom, but we're also the ones that are going to be doing the back end for the Healthy Girl e-magazine. So we're always here to support you. If some people just aren't understanding how to do it properly, we're here to support you to help you do that. There will be some training involved. So that brings me to my next point about the pricing and training that's going to be involved. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a group training on anybody that decides they want to become a part of the cluster, of the Healthy Girl cluster. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to write these articles. We're going to go in and we're going to show you all about how to write the articles, how to make sure you're getting your SEO. And, you know, one of the things that I've really liked since I started this is I was writing blogs for probably a year before I joined, and doing it through Cluster and watching, there's actually a little SEO meter that is on the corner of your screen now. And it tells you how good you're writing your article based on the tags that you're using and the words that you're using and the links that you're putting in and all of those different things. And my articles now are so much better and so much more engaging than before. Before it was just a lot of text, which I know a lot of people, that's how they write their articles and blogs, and that's fine. But it's not as engaging for someone reading. You know, when you're reading an article and all of a sudden you see a ton of text, you kind of get bored halfway through, right? I mean, I know I do, at least. So by doing it this way and having Cluster kind of guide you through how to write it properly, and by putting in the pictures, putting in the links and all of that, it takes it to the next level for your blogging as well. So, and for writing articles. So I've really found my articles have improved immensely since becoming a part of Cluster. So hopefully if you guys are like me, maybe you're already writing great articles and you know all of the tricks, and that's fine, but this will definitely help you. So we will train you, set you up. We will be creating your profiles for you. So each of you will get your own profile, just like this one that you're seeing here of mine. And then we'll be able to put you through to Cluster. And so we're going to be doing all the back end work as far as making sure that the articles are edited properly, that the pictures are good quality going out there, and making sure that everything, because sometimes when you're creating them, you can't see that until we actually go to publish it. So, you know, but basically once you activate it and within, 24 to 48 hours, we will read it and have it activated for you. So we've kind of come up with the pricing as far as the training goes, because we're going to do group training as opposed to individual training. We're going to charge a fee of, let me just see here, $50 per coach to be part of the training. And that's just a one-time fee, just to set you up and get you going. And then basically a 6-month contract. We ask everybody to sign up for 6 months at a time. That we're going to charge $179 for the 6 months. So that's basically $30 a month for you to be part of this e-magazine. And it's more than just being part of the magazine. It's actually part of your marketing budget. So if you are doing things like Google, Facebook ads, all of those types of things, this is much more affordable. And also in those emails that Steve was talking about that you get sent out, it actually shows you on the bottom how much money you would have had to spend. Is it Google and Facebook, or just Google, Steve?
Well,
or is it just social media?
Facebook is getting expensive very fast. So
Yeah.
the estimate, what we've done is 60 cents a click to $1.20 a click.
Yeah.
So on a per click basis, that's the range that we show, which is both Facebook and Google now.
Right. So, I mean, it shows, and that's what I'm saying in the emails that I'm getting, it shows me that the amount of clicks that I'm getting and the leads that I'm getting, it would have cost me, sometimes it's up to, $150 a month. It would have cost me just to get that many leads through another social media platform. So, or using Google ads or Facebook. So $30, we figure $30 a month is pretty affordable for something that's going to hopefully be able to generate some great leads for you and your businesses.
That's a really good point. Real quick, the whole concept of clustering is, I see Jesslyn and Jen here, but Jesslyn would share Jen's articles, and Jen would share Jesslyn's articles, and everyone would share each other. But if someone's going to read an article based on Jen's referral, it's very powerful referral.
Yeah.
So somebody reads the article because they wanted to. So these are the kind of people that you're getting ultimately to read your content.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. So I don't know if anybody that's on the calls right now, if you guys want to unmute yourselves, if you have any questions while Steve is here, and of course I can answer any questions as well. Let us know if you do, and we'd be happy to answer. So if not, if you think of something, that's fine. You can always email us as well. I'll show, this is the video that Steve had done up for us to watch as well. And again, it's just, because some people need a visual. I'm a visual person. So let's kind of put it up full screen here, and we'll just show a quick video here.
Today we're going to discuss what is a cluster. And I am Stephen Thode, and through hard work and SEO and honestly some luck, we've reached over 35 million people online. So we're going to start with the math of clustering. Basically, if 30 businesses all got together and each of those businesses participated in a group e-magazine, and each business just brought 5 people a day to that group magazine, that group would reach 54,750 readers. That's 164,000 reads to the business owner content. So we basically have one piece of advice. Stop working alone online and cluster together. You have to be online to be found online. So the reality is, we all know that Google and all these other search engines are very, very well utilized machines. So you need to ultimately be at the other end of that machine with some great content. So what is Cluster? Cluster is a group publishing platform. It allows you to create content, and that group can build a branded online magazine. By building that branded online magazine, you can reach significantly more people than you can by working alone. So how it works. Well, this may look like a standard e-magazine. It's called the Healthy Waterloo Region. But it's driven completely a different way than your average online magazine. This magazine is powered by 25 local health professionals and their collective social reach. So basically 25 businesses said, we've had enough of working alone. Let's build our group magazine. And together they built the Healthy Waterloo magazine. And together they drive around 100,000 reads of their content each year. basically what happens is each business uploads their articles and their content to their own portfolio, if you will. So this business has multiple articles in their portfolio, and they take that piece of content and they put it into the group magazine. That's really as simple as it gets. We're pretty proud of some of the tools we've built. We've basically built a SEO rating tool so that when you do build a piece of content, we'll tell you if it's strong for Google search. Easy formatting and ability to upload videos and images to your content. And of course, we think it looks fantastic. So ultimately, the consumer is going to enjoy reading your content. Why it works? Well, we already know being part of a plaza helps businesses in many ways. So this is an example of a consumer that comes to a plaza. This consumer drove in his car to the plaza to come to the Thai restaurant. And when they came out of the Thai restaurant, they saw the bakery and they went and got a loaf of bread. And from there, they had to head back to their car and they noticed that there was a fitness center in the plaza. This is a cluster. Well, in our world, clustering works the exact same way, but it's not a plaza, it's an e-magazine. A consumer might come to read one of your articles on sore backs or fellow business owners, and while they're there reading that article, they've noticed that there's an article on allergies. This consumer happens to want to be educated on allergies. And then as they're leaving the e-magazine, they see that there's an article for later that they might want to read on braces for teens. So this person comes back over and over again to get educated on things that matter to them. Together, this cluster, again, provides thousands of leads for each business. Well, we already know the power of cluster. Offline, it already works. And we use this street sign as an example. Subway, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Crystal, Cracker Barrel, Burger King, and McDonald's. They're all competitive businesses, but they all combine their collective influence. I feel like a sub. I feel like some fried chicken. I feel like some McDonald's. I am hungry. And that influence ultimately drives people to the side of the road to go eat. The results is up to 90 to 100% lower cost than Google or Facebook ads. So we invite you to use cluster.com and learn about cluster.com to discover the power of together.
So there we go. So that, again, just gives a visual, kind of reiterates everything that Steve and I have kind of talked about today. So again, if you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer them right now, or we can, oh, yep, I see.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You can finish your sentence.
No, go ahead.
So that's cool, and thank you both for presenting all this. And if I missed something from, like I missed the first couple minutes of the call, so if it's something you already addressed, then
no problem.
I apologize. I guess I'm still confused, like, what's the practical desired outcome for all of us out of this? Because, like, for instance, looking at that, you know, like the example with the fitness center and the KFC and the bakery and or whatever, like in the plaza.
Yes.
What we share in common as Healthy Girl is that all of us have USANA as our product partner. So all of us are selling the same thing. So what's the benefit financially, like in terms of this, if this is being presented to us as a way to support our USANA business, how is that the case when everyone who's clustering, it's like we all have the same store?
Well, I guess the way Leanne and I have discussed it, because Leanne and Linda and I had sat down, we said the same kind of thing. This is more, Leanne was wanting to know basically how to take the Healthy Girl brand into the next level. So to be able to do that, we are all doing USANA and Healthy Girl, but a lot of us also have our own businesses. And that's one of the reasons we joined Healthy Girls, because we have another type of business that we're doing that we want to get out there. So a lot of us are blogging, or we're doing other types of things. So for those that aren't, it might seem like, well, there's no point in me doing a magazine of this caliber, but we kind of see the power of, again, a group of us, we're all working together in the first place as Healthy Girl, trying to bring people in. So doing it together is going to be easier. So if you're writing an article, one of the ways that we said that it's going to make it fair for everybody, because again, like you say, we're trying to sell the same product, is to be able to have a footer at the bottom. So basically, if someone's reading a bunch of articles and they actually like yours the best, like they really are following an article that you're liking, or they like your style or the things that you're writing about, well, if they want to join Healthy Girl, they're going to come to you to join Healthy Girl. So everybody's going to have an equal opportunity to be pulling in people for the USANA part of the business. But we're also, it's more about our brands as well. Leanne wanted us to be able to showcase the brand. And I guess I'll give you a little example. I was with a separate MLM company before I joined Healthy Girl and USANA. And it was right along the same timelines of when I started my own business. And so that company was all about, and it was a supplement company as well. And they were great products and good business model. But when I started running my own company, they could care less that I had a brand of my own. They could care less that they were like, just sell the products, sell the products, sell the products. You don't need this other business. If you just sell the products, all you should have to do is sell the products. Whereas, of course, when I was presented with Healthy Girl, it was about, really supporting my brand, my own personal Balance Bloom, which is my company, and what it is that I'm offering as well. So for me, that was one of the reasons I joined Healthy Girl. So I'm not sure if you have another business that you do.
Can I just say something? So the way I would see this is value add. So you're all in these localities, and you're ultimately trying to reach more people from a health standpoint.
Right.
So you can't possibly write on everything. So ultimately, you're going to have people that you meet that don't quite know you yet. And this is a way to establish trust by providing them with information. And they start reading your magazine, which is built by a group. And eventually they develop a relationship with you and they want to be involved, whether it's with USANA or whether it's with your local business. So you're providing them education, you're developing trust, and ultimately they become more engaged with who you are as an individual. And that's ultimately an opportunity to increase your reps ultimately underneath you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Abby, do you have another business that you do, or are you just doing a Healthy Girl business?
This is the main, I just closed a yoga studio.
Oh,
so
okay.
I did have a local business, and I just closed it. So I am a yoga teacher. So I do have a brand.
Yes. Yeah. So I can understand where you come from, going, okay, well, yeah, you're here more for the Healthy Girl aspect of it. And I'm sure that quite a few people are here just for the Healthy Girl. That's what they do, right? Whether they're a stay-at-home mom and they're using that, or this is just the business that they've chosen to do. So yeah, for that aspect of it, we are going to try and make it so anybody that joins the Healthy Girl magazine is going to get fair shot at, of course, recruiting somebody under their USANA business. So as I said, we're going to have footers that we're going to be putting on the bottom of everything. So basically, if someone's reading your article at the bottom, it's going to say, if you like this and you're interested in becoming a Healthy Girl, contact the writer of this article. And for someone who comes to Healthy Girl through the magazine and they like everybody, what Leanne has said that we're going to do, and we've kind of agreed upon, is having basically a list, and you're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way through. So if someone comes and they don't really have a referral, the first person on the top of the list, we're going to put you through to them. And then we're just going to work our way down the list for all of the people. So that's one of the ideas we had. Obviously, if there's better ideas out there from, other people, we're happy to listen to them. But that's kind of, I understand, because we are kind of competitive at the same time, a team, right? So working together, is going to be key, but we also want to make it fair for everybody coming in. But it also gives an incentive to really be writing great articles as well, because you're going to want engagement with people and having people follow you and really connect with certain people.
Okay. And I have another question? Sorry if anyone, I'm still, and this is just out of curiosity. I'm not quite clear on I'd never met you until I saw you post about this, so I don't know you.
Yes.
Or how long you've even been in Healthy Girl, any of that. But what is your role? Like, how come you're hosting this call and it just like the prices are coming from you? Like, are we paying you? And if we're paying you, why are we paying you?
Yes. So you missed that at the very beginning. I did introduce myself and kind of how, so I've been a part of Healthy Girl only since the fall of last year, and I met Leanne, but I was a part of the cluster before that. So I went to Leanne and said, would you want to consider putting Healthy Girl into an e-magazine? And she loved the idea because at Christmas time, she was saying that she was really looking for a platform to take Healthy Girl to the next level, and an e-magazine was exactly what she had in mind. So I brought the idea to Leanne, and basically the reason, and so she loves the idea. She is way too busy to obviously be doing this herself and be running this magazine herself. She's got way too much on her plate. So she's enlisted my husband and I to be basically the editor-in-chiefs of this magazine. So we're the ones that are going to be putting the magazine together and doing all the back work for editing all of the articles, as well as making sure that it all fits in within the Healthy Girl brand, because we're going to there's going to be guidelines as far as just making sure people aren't writing about, like, you're not writing about going to McDonald's and how great your meal was, right? Like, as a Healthy Girl, there's going to be guidelines that we have that are going to be followed based on what Leanne has said. Like, she's going to be the one giving us all of the guidelines and feedback on what she wants the brand to look like, what she wants it to feel like. She's the owner of the Healthy Girl magazine, as the founder of Healthy Girl, but she's basically hired and enlisted us to run the magazine for her.
So, and this isn't, I know, I just ask a lot of questions.
Yeah,
Ask a lot of questions. Yeah. So just so I understand, I could just as an independent go and join Cluster and have my own articles that I publish.
Yes.
You should.
And does that cost me something?
No.
To create a profile, no.
So I could create my own profile and start writing articles and tagging up with other magazines and sharing with other magazines?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But if I want to be included, so I could do that and have all my articles I'm writing, and then basically if I want to submit them to Healthy Girl, then you approve them and I pay you to do that.
Now, and
but you also get
Steve,
the distribution. You see, what you have is you have 20 or 30 people. You can do this on your own. You'll quickly realize it does take time to put these, publications together, but you can do this on your own, and you can find a group of people. You'll quickly find within a group of people, there's value in that network. And that's effectively what Jessalyn's putting together. She's assembling you all right now. And there's a little bit of pain to do that. But ultimately, she's assembling 30 or 40 people that are going to validate your content and increase your awareness. And also, you're kind of leveraging other people's content. So you're saying, look, I'm part of this magazine. If you take an individual in your area that you're maybe potentially recruiting, this is a high quality magazine that you're all putting together. It's going to close the door on the sale a lot faster ultimately than, if it's all about you. And so you're diversifying your risk along the way. So there's value to that, right?
And now, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that when I first joined Cluster back in June or July last year, I tried to submit an article to somebody else because I thought it would fit within their article. And they told me the only way I could do that is to pay them. So a lot of the other magazines are actually also charging for you to be able to write content and be a part of their magazine. So I'm not the only one. Is basically, I don't want you to think that everyone else is doing this for free, but I'm the one that's charging it. I kind of every magazine, every group has their own.
You can put together a group on your own. Where are you from, Abby?
I'm in Ontario, Haliburton, Ontario.
Hey, so I have a cottage up in Huntsville, so you could assemble you could also assemble a group of people up in Haliburton and build Haliburton Health magazine if you wanted to. And that would increase your awareness and ultimately give you more of a local presence.
Right.
But
and
you're ultimately joining
this one magazine, obviously.
Sorry,
you cut me.
Sorry, I said you could be a part of more than one magazine, definitely.
But then I'm paying to each magazine.
It depends.
Yeah, each magazine is different.
Yeah, if you built a Halliburton magazine, if you wanted to, for example, assemble, health-based businesses in Halliburton together and build a magazine, you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even have to charge them.
Yeah.
So there's lots of networks that are like this. It will take you time to assemble this group. So you have to decide where there's value in your time assembling this group.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what
basically what we're doing, is because there is time and effort, and time is valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we agreed, and that's why Leanne and I and my husband and we all agreed on the pricing.
In addition to that, what it does, this is something that's not intuitive when looking at the whole concept of clustering, but by having multiple people share your content,
We lost Abby.
that's going to really improve your SEO.
Yes.
Sorry?
Am I losing everybody? Everybody back?
I'm here.
Okay. I think some of them have cut out. I don't know. Oh, there's Abby's back. Okay. Just making
I
sure.
didn't know. I could hear him. I heard he was talking, and then.
Okay.
I think you just cut out.
Yeah.
So let's say you created an article in a magazine in Halliburton called, Yoga for Beginners.
Mm-hmm.
By being part of multiple networks and people pointing to your content and sharing your content, in the eyes of Google, you become an expert on yoga for beginners.
Right.
So when somebody searches yoga for beginners in Halliburton and your content is created for that such term, by
Right.
being part of this network, now all of a sudden you're validated. So you have all these health professionals validating your content. That's a major part of the value. In addition to getting more people reading it from an Asana perspective, you could have people in Halliburton that subscribe to the Healthy Girl magazine, and now they're like, I want to be a healthy girl. And you're like, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually be part of this magazine as well. But you get them as a Healthy Girl, I don't know what they would call it, but partner, I'm assuming.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah,
no
like
question.
I was on the phone with somebody yesterday here in New Zealand, and getting her and her husband to be a part of Usana, but she's also becoming a yoga instructor. So I mentioned the fact that, Healthy Girl is an opportunity for her, if they are going to join the business, and this e-magazine would also be a great way for her, because she's not blogging or doing anything at this point yet, because this is like a new venture for her. She's a teacher right now. So being able to mention to her, and she was like, oh, that's a great great way, because it's a great place for people, especially somebody who may not already have a website. Nowadays, websites are becoming less and less even. Like I created this huge website that I was using when I first started my business. And even in the last 18 months to 2 years, I've used it less and less. And I'm more using things like this, and then ClickFunnels to actually promote my products, as opposed to actually having a website to draw people to. So it's another great outlet to bring people into the business, into the Healthy Girl, and say, we also have an e-magazine that you can join and start blogging and writing and bringing, being creative as much as you want. So it's just another way to also help recruit, and another thing for us to be able, and I think that's what Leanne is thinking as well. It's another opportunity for her to be able to say, if you become a part of Healthy Girl, you can become a part of our e-magazine as well. So in her mind, I wish she was be able to be on this call to kind of talk to you guys about it as well. But in her mind, that's where she's seeing it, is that it's bringing awareness to both the Healthy Girl brand and your brand together collectively. But yes, you're definitely able to, and you may even write some articles that other magazines may ask to use, because I've actually had that happen to me before, where I've written a couple of articles and I get a request from, Healthy Waterloo Region, or the one that Steve had shown in the video, or one of the others, asking me can they use my article? And of course, if they ask, then I'm not paying them, because they've asked to use it. They want to put it in there because it's something relevant for them. And then you're making a connection with that person. And that, and a few people, they may not even, they're not using supplements, but now you've made another another connection. It's a networking thing as well. So, and because of that, things can just keep growing bigger and better, and the awareness is just getting out there even more. So great questions. I love questions. I love being able to answer, because I bet you everybody else is thinking these things, but they're not saying it. So thanks for asking.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
I had a question about the logistics. Like, how would we give you the article?
So basically what I would do is that we're in our contract, we have all the information. We're going to set up a profile for you. And, oh, do you want to answer, Steve?
No, I'm saying hi because I can see myself now. Sorry.
So basically we set up your profile, and that's where the training comes in. I'm going to train you guys how to use it, and you go in and you write your articles right inside of now the cluster, your profile, and it's basically steps. It's very easy to follow, especially the new and improved what am I trying to say? Platform, that's it. I was going to say profile. Platform makes it really easy to follow step by step how to write the article and then how to submit it. And again, I'll show you how to do that. Then basically I would go through, I'll make sure it's, everything is good, because again, when you read, after you've written an article and you read it over and over again, you miss mistakes or you miss errors. I do it all the time. I always get my husband to read my articles after I write them. And we go through, we edit it. We make sure everything is good. If I can figure out a way to bump up your SEO a little bit, I can even do that for you. And then I can activate it right from there and publish it in the magazine. So it's, again, very simple. It's all done online. And I just get an email basically saying, yep, Jen's submitted an article, have a quick boo at it. I'll read it through and make sure that it's all good before we activate it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Is this kind of like what Mind Body Green is? Is that similar to that kind of platform?
There is obviously, yes, they're an e-magazine as well. I'm not sure what their back end is. I'm not sure what they focus on. I don't know, Steve, have you heard of Mind Body Green?
So that might be a single magazine. The way we built Cluster,
I think
we built Cluster so that when you create an article, you can syndicate it not only into Healthy Girl, but you can syndicate it into, again, taking Abby's. She could take one article, put it in Healthy Girl. She could put it in Healthy Halliburton as well. And that's a click of a button versus copy and paste like you can typical blogging platforms. Right. So we actually have, I think we're at 25 or 30 clusters being built right now. And as Jesselyn learned quickly, it doesn't take long to become part of multiple publishing platforms and groups working together to distribute each other's information. Yeah. So the reason I built this ultimately was, I understand SEO, but the reality is this: we're all working alone online. We all have our own Facebook, our own Twitter, our own Instagram, Pinterest, which is valuable. Don't get me wrong, our own websites, but we don't have distribution. Our distribution is limited to how many people we know. But now all of a sudden your distribution is going to be literally 50,000 or 100,000 by combining all of your strength.
Can I ask another question just in terms of kind of marketing wise, since obviously if you're the founder of Cluster, you've thought this through. Like for me in building my brand, and like I'm sure some of you have done or have heard of like B School with Marie Forleo, maybe. Anyway, it's a mentor that I have in like the business world, and this is what you hear a lot of. There's like content is king, and like I really try on my own personal social media to share like real things that I've written that people identify with, because I find like sometimes I share an article and I get feedback and people respond, or if I share a video, but like more than anything else, I always get the best response, like especially on Facebook or Instagram, I get the best response from words that I've written, because people in my networks know me and they value like that what I'm sharing on the page isn't just something I've clicked and shared, And so and I actually, and this is just part of like how I've crafted my social media presence, I guess, is like I share like, articles I didn't write or things sometimes, but really not that much. So it's kind of making me a little bit like at the idea, like, although I really love everything you're saying, but then just this idea of having this idea of having like a contract that I'm promising to share articles that I didn't write multiple times every week. Like I don't share articles I didn't write 5 or 10
Right.
times a week.
So we completely agree with that philosophy.
Yeah.
You on social media, you've developed an audience. They're following you because in theory they love you, right?
Yeah.
Now, the reality is humans can't follow as many people as they're following right now legitimately. So we struggle with our social media by actually, putting filler in and the weather's nice and all that kind of stuff. But we agree 100%. You should not be sharing something that you don't believe in or your audience would believe in.
Yeah.
But the reality is the women that you're associated within Healthy Girl have incredible value, and it's over and above the value that you have. But you have to determine from your brand's perspective, ultimately what you want to share. And I think from the Healthy Girl perspective, I don't think this contract that might sound intimidating at first is actually as intimidating as it seems, because the math behind clustering, it doesn't require you to get outside your comfort zone and share things that you don't want and that often.
So I'll just tell you, I totally agree with you, Abby, because I'm a part of a magazine that originally started off being about health and wellness, but some people that were pulled into it are not necessarily within the realm of what I believe in, or they were doing other network marketing companies. So I'm not going to sit here and share an article from an Arbonne rep or some other type of rep, because that's not, I'm trying to do my own thing with my own MLM, not somebody else's. So I definitely, when it comes to sharing articles like that, I don't share, even though I'm in a cluster with somebody who is a rep that, is selling something else. I don't share that article. I don't share unless they write something that's totally just a really good article that's not related to their products. I might share it. But what we're asking, as far as I know, when I said in the contract, we ask you to go in and share that specific magazine that I'm a part of. I'm actually, I think at one point, I don't know if I still am, but I think I am. I was like the number one, besides the owner of the magazine, I was the number one person in the magazine as far as sharing content, contributing, and all of that. And I only went in like twice a week and shared 2 articles a week. And just by doing that on a consistent basis, I did it every week. I made sure that I had 1 to 2 articles that I was contributing every week. So you're not having to go in and share multiple articles over and over and over again. That's actually my philosophy when it comes to sharing. I know other people in the cluster that I'm in will share the same articles over and over again. I don't. I share an article once and that's it. If it's a really good article or if it got a really good response, then I may share it again down the road, just to remind people of what it is. But I try not to, I only share what's in line and what's in focus with me and my business. And that's one of the reasons when I really thought about putting Healthy Girl together, before I even approached Leanne, I thought, this is a group of women that we're all in health and wellness. We are all in yoga, nutrition, some in line together. So we're all going to probably really enjoy a lot of the articles that are written by other women that are actually feeling the same, having the same type of background as us, versus people being pulled in. Because when I first joined that other magazine, I was one of the first people. I was actually the first person that joined the magazine. So I didn't know who was following me. I didn't know who she was going to put on the magazine. And again, some of the people were great. I love their articles. I really follow them and still share them. And other people, not so much in line with me. Versus Healthy Girl, I feel like we can all really be in line. And even in our contract that we have, we even say, only share what you feel is within your realm. Only share what you're comfortable with. Share as much as you can, but it really has to be something. And I feel personally too, like I share these articles all the time. And when I share, I may not get as much engagement with the people on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. But every once in a while you do. Like I shared an article the other day, somebody who I'm brand new connected with. And I shared it on Twitter. And my Twitter account is not something I focus on. It's actually kind of lying in the background. But I actually got like 5 or 6 new Twitter followers just from sharing this one article that wasn't even mine, because she had a huge Twitter following. And all of a sudden now there was people following, going, this person shared it. And it all connected up. So it's amazing how other businesses can all of a sudden start kind of going, who's this? and
Mhm.
and really start connecting with them. So
In addition, you have, I'm assuming you have multiple, shouldn't assume, but you have multiple social media platforms. And of course, within Facebook, you've got your personal Facebook and you've got likely your business Facebooks. So when you're slicing and dicing what to share, you don't have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Over concentrate on any one platform, right? Like what an article might be good for your girlfriends in Halliburton, and it goes on your personal media. You're like, I was actually personally, I really liked this article. There was nothing salesy about it. And it talks about maybe postpartum depression. I don't know, but you might have just a feeling that works with your personal social media followers, and so be it.
yeah, and you can choose, right? So if you're sharing on Facebook, I choose what I put on my personal page versus my Balanced Bloom page versus I have 3 pages. I have a Living Like the McCashes page because we're doing this travel world adventure that with my family. So I'm actually part of a magazine, actually Steve's magazine, the Bucket List, where I talk about my travels. So if I find an article that relates to travel, or I'm sharing an article from them, I can share it specifically just to that Facebook page. So I'm not always sharing every article on my personal page or my business page. I can pick and choose where I'm putting that article, and it all counts. It all counts towards your shares. It all counts toward, it doesn't matter where you share it, or if you're up at 4:30 in the morning and you decide to share something on Twitter at 4:30 in the morning. Well, we all know that Twitter, just the feed goes through so quickly. I mean, if you're sharing stuff on Twitter, depending on certain people's feeds, I mean, again, it all counts towards your shares, and someone somewhere will be picking it up, but it doesn't necessarily have to be at peak hours. So for those Twitter shares. So
Abby, the reason I built Cluster was because I wanted to build magazines with people. I just didn't have, there's no platform ultimately to do that. So someday I would like to see a platform built by countries around the world about sailing destinations instead of by journalists. And I genuinely believe that the business owners themselves have the greatest knowledge. And as we all know, we're getting stronger with publishing ourselves instead of being quoted in a newspaper. We start writing now. So I am a content marketer by heart, and we want to increase the quality that's out there. So I think we're definitely in agreement with your thought process. Like, nothing that comes out of your shares should be anything you don't believe in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, and thank you, and thank you for all those explanations. And I'm not trying to argue against this. Like, I think all of this is great. I'm just, again, like I said, I just really
but again, it's good because there's people that aren't watching, so they are going to go watch it later. So
it's not that I was worried about like having to share something I don't believe in. It's just that like for even in Healthy Girl, like, and maybe this was even before you joined Healthy Girl, but like we were promoting like Beautiful Body Cleanse or something like a few months back, or I was promoting it. And at the beginning I was sharing a video like of Linda talking about the Beautiful Body Cleanse, or of Leanne. But I found that I actually got like way more enrollments and way more responses when I just sat down, made my own little video with my phone and shared that, because people were like, okay, I know you. And when they looked on their Facebook feed or whatever, they're like, who's Linda Heredia? I don't know. I'm not going to watch her video. Who's Leanne? I don't know. I'm not going to watch her video. Oh, it's Abby. I know her. I'm going to watch her video. So that's just like why I found too that I haven't had as good a response. But like I do share the article time to time.
That's fair. I mean, the reality is if you think of like travel bloggers, the reality is lots of travel bloggers ultimately had the same belief that they were going to create this massive travel blogger brand.
Yeah.
It's just not possible to do it alone.
Yeah, no, I'm all for the teamwork.
Some of these travel bloggers that have 2,000 or 3,000 followers are incredible writers, but they can't get the distribution because they've limited their distribution to themselves. So, but having said that, the most powerful distribution is that direct distribution. This is for sure. And those people that are following you, they've engaged with you, and you owe it to them ultimately to, continue to support why they followed you in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to be able to give other options of other, like I say, of other articles, of other topics that you may not know a lot about. Or, and again, the majority of what you're going to share on your social media is going to be you. But every once in a while, you'll throw in, like I say, a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, you're going to throw in another article. And the return on that is I'm going to be sharing your articles on my stuff, on my, so it works really nicely. But I totally agree too, because I'm not one that likes to share. Like I like to do all my own stuff as well. But I find that when I share them, like I'm not expecting a ton of engagement off the articles I share from Cluster, but you just never know who it's going to hit on the other side, and who it's going to affect, and who is now all of a sudden going to be inspired, and in the grand scheme of things, who's going to actually now go on and start following our magazine and start following other magazines in Cluster and start getting some more information, like they follow Mind Body Green or all those other magazines, right? So again, the more we can give to people, the better it's going to be for all of us.
And then they need to create, say I post a Cluster article, and then someone goes to the Cluster website where that article lives.
Yeah.
Now, if they're, like you said, and then they might start following our magazine, did they make their own Cluster profile in order to do that?
Yeah, to follow that magazine, they can actually use their Facebook account to follow your magazine, so they can sign in with Facebook or Twitter. So,
but the idea is now, as well as logging into Facebook, they also log into Cluster and see what's up.
Right, and we think we're different than Facebook. I know we're different than Facebook because we're trying to focus on thicker levels of content.
But like that would. Okay, sorry. I just meant like that would be another thing that they like, okay, when I'm on my phone, I can like, oh, what's up on Facebook? Okay. What's up on Instagram? Okay. Am I also going to have a Cluster app or something where I'm looking what's up on Cluster?
Right. So we're mobile friendly. So you can basically follow your feeds. Right now, we're, as an organization, including you guys, we're trying to determine when someone follows Healthy Girl Magazine, we're trying to determine how often we send emails, and obviously we're going to give them the choice, but we're actually not huge believers in every time a new article goes up to Healthy Girl that we send them an email.
Yeah.
We're more in line with like a Medium where we send a digest. So as more and more magazines get published with our software, you'll follow 10 magazines, but while you're following 10 magazines, you're in theory following 200 different businesses.
Right.
So yes, the answer is it's completely mobile friendly. You can follow, you guys will probably just start following the Healthy Waterloo Girl magazine, and you might be interested. I don't know. We have a cluster called Social Media Marketing Conferences. Maybe you're interested in that, but it'll start with one. Right. And then what inevitably is happening right now is, well, people join a cluster and then eventually they say, this is a cool cluster that I'm part of. I'm actually want to create another cluster now with a group of, local professionals or what have you.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's started out the same way Facebook started out, where, it started with, 10 business. We're over 500 businesses using us right now. Yeah. So we're happy. But you had to start somewhere. So, the reality is I can now tell you that if you guys assemble your magazine and you have 30 people that are sharing on a regular basis, you guys would probably collectively have between 250,000 and 500,000 reads of your group article.
A year.
Yeah.
Which is likely more than you'll get on your blog. It's a different kind of read than you get on your blog. That's what you ultimately want. But you'll notice if you search Balance Bloom, that balancebloom.com, which is Jessalyn, she's number one. Her website, this validates her website and her content on her website, and Cluster's actually number 2. Yeah. And the reason Cluster's number 2 is because it's perceived a little bit better than Facebook because of the richness of the content.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to get to now.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good for our business, obviously, and it's one of those things too that I just want to mention. My husband just he's sitting in the background. You can't see him right now, but he mentioned that with USANA and Healthy Girl, we don't want it to be a platform for people to write different articles about USANA and the supplements and like I actually wrote an article before, I think I wrote it back in December, just on why supplements, why do people need supplements? And so the whole article was just about why I believe people need supplements. And then of course at the end I put, if you're interested in the supplements that I'm currently taking, go ahead and contact me, blah, blah, blah. I'm also part of Healthy Girl if you're a coach or a wellness coach or whatever. But we don't want the articles to be just focused on, obviously, so for the competingness of, the Healthy Girl and USANA, we want it to be you and your personality. We want the articles to be Abby's articles. We want them to be something that you're passionate about, you're interested in. And every once in a while, if you throw something in, or we all collectively decide that, let's write an article, or one a month everybody writes an article about Healthy Girl and we kind of rotate it around, then that's a possibility for us to think about as well. We haven't thought about those details, but as I said at the very beginning, it's we're going to have a footer on the bottom of everything to promote the Healthy Girl and USANA, but this is more just about you writing articles that you are passionate about, and that we can all share, and that we can all get to know you better, and we can, as a team, we can grow. So
great.
Yeah. So, Steve, were you going to say something there?
I mean, I'm excited to talk to Abby more because, we should probably do it offline, but ultimately, Abby, I want to talk to you about how you can create content and benefit from all these ladies sharing your content, but locally in Haliburton. That's the most exciting thing for me, because the reality is most people aren't creating content in Haliburton.
Yeah.
Steve just likes building magazines. He just loves building magazines, as many as he can, where, when he sees an opportunity, you can see it in his eyes.
And you see a Haliburton magazine. Let's get on it.
Well, you have a huge opportunity. Most local businesses have huge opportunities online. And the reality is the average business owner right now is saying, I don't have time to write content. But the reality is everybody is going to Google to look for content.
Yeah.
So this is a time in our lives where we can kind of grab that real estate online as a knowledge professional and hold on to it. And because of what I'm hearing from you, you actually believe in this whole knowledge stuff. You can grab with all these ladies helping you, you can grab a whole bunch of search terms in Haliburton, depending on how we shape your content.
Right.
So
this is generally most of the magazines up till this point. And correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, they're built based off of local businesses, bricks and mortar businesses, not online, not, versus, so this is kind of a little bit of a different magazine compared to some, because we're from all over the place. We're not just in one region. We're, some of us, there are some Healthy Girls that are in the US. There's, currently I'm in New Zealand, even though I'm from Canada, but we're all over the place. So it's kind of a different platform for it, like a different, grouping of people.
The reality is there are so many different, obviously we called it cluster for a reason.
Options,
and there are health-based clusters, there are restaurant clusters. We all know that we would rather go downtown where there's 10 restaurants than, go where one restaurant is and not have choice. And so that's the whole concept that we're doing. So to me, we're getting now, just to give you guys an idea, we have a chiropractor who is building a cluster with a group of other chiropractors across North America to provide awareness for the type of chiropractic that they're all practicing. And it's funny because the chiropractic is called neurostructural chiropractic. None of us have heard of it. It's searched 100 times a month on Google. And yet there's over 200 chiropractors that practice this and believe in this chiropractic.
Right.
So nobody's heard of it. So they're going to get together and actually build brand awareness for neurostructural chiropractic. And that's kind of similar to what I see you guys doing, is you're building awareness around Healthy Girl and Asana and getting people pumped about what you guys do. I suspect it should get some blood pumping and have more people join your network. And
great.
That's all.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's great, Abby. Thank you. Because like I say, there's so many girls I'm hoping are going to watch this afterwards and they may have the exact same questions. So I really appreciate you asking the questions so that we could answer them and have them out there. And for anybody that is going to be watching this after, please feel free to email me, Jesslyn@balancebloom.com, or you can send me a private message on Facebook and we can answer any questions and we'll go from there. As far as deciding, you know, who would be interested. Again, if anybody is interested in joining Healthy Girl, or like I say before, if you have any questions, just reach out and then we'll decide what the next steps are in who's going to be the founding members. And hopefully we can start building a great team starting even next week, as soon as next week, because the sooner we can start building, the sooner we can get it out there. So I'm really excited about it. So thanks to you, Abby and Jen. And I think there was Lori Ann as well as that was joining us. So I appreciate you guys coming on and we'll talk to you guys all again soon.
Very exciting.
All right. And thank you, Steve, for joining us. All right.
Thanks.
Take care, everybody. Bye.